Get this power, man.
It's nice, huh?
I got it up to about 90, I think.
90? That's cool. Hey y'all, welcome back to Sheep Fast. We got a different and interesting little video for y'all today. We decided to take y'all back to 2017 when I got my first Charger, okay? This is my baby number 2. But before there was this, I had a 2017 Dodge Charger RT, and I'm gonna take y'all back and show y'all what that was like.
First purchase of a brand new
2017 Charger.
I'll be right back.
What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be reviewing this 2017 Dodge Charger RT. The color is a pitch black clear coat. So let's go ahead and start with the exterior, and then we'll take a look at the interior, and then we'll give our final thoughts on the 2017 Dodge Charger RT. Looking at the front of the vehicle, you have the gloss black grille with the gloss black crosshairs. It's hard to tell, but this piece here is also a gloss black. So if you see the Chargers in a different color, it really stands out and looks really nice. On the black one, it just kind of blends in. But overall, I think it gives it a nice stealthy appearance. Now, the LED daytime running lights are one of my favorite features of this vehicle. They look really good, especially when you look at it back from a distance. Gives it a unique look. This car comes equipped with the rear body color spoiler, which is actually a 3-piece design. As you can see, there's a center section, and then you have the 2 pieces on the side, which gives it a nice sporty look. The car comes equipped with 20x8 aluminum hyper black wheels, wrapped in 245/45 R20 BSW AS performance tires. These are Firestone tires, and from the dealership they also came filled with nitrogen, as indicated by the cap there. Really nice tire and wheel combination. It's really sporty, especially for a factory option. The car comes equipped with anti-lock 4-wheel disc performance brakes, and while they aren't the Brembos, they definitely do get the job done. Coming from a Mustang, it took me a little while to get used to how quickly pressing on the brakes would bring the car to a halt. The car comes equipped with active exhaust, making it louder the harder you press on the accelerator. It also only utilizes 4 cylinders when it's not necessary to use all 8 of them, so that helps with gas mileage. It's pretty easy to spot a Charger when you see it on the road, especially with the tail lights. Now, moving to the interior of the vehicle, it does come with a leather-wrapped steering wheel with the chrome bezel around the Dodge emblem here. It also has satin accents around the controls right here. So overall, it's a really comfortable steering wheel and stylish as well. Up towards the top here, you have your map lights, and you also have garage controls there if you want to use those to open and close your garage. Sunglasses holder here. Passenger side visor has an extension on it, as well as vanity mirrors. On the ceiling of the car, you're going to notice this right here, and basically that's a microphone that's going to be used for Bluetooth audio. So there's one there, and there's also one over the passenger side. Now, the driver's side door has controls for the left and right side mirrors, the front and rear windows, It has a child lockout built into it, and you can lock and unlock the door. As with the other doors, it does have space here for a drink. And oddly enough, this is actually the fuel door release. So if you press this, it releases the fuel door. And what you'll find is that there's no cap needed. So this here acts as the seal that's built into the door itself. So you can just start fueling. And when you're finished, just close the door and you're done. Now the front windows have the one-touch up and down feature. So you just tap it once and the window comes down. Tap it again, up, and the windows go up. Now that's only for the front two driver side and passenger windows. The rear only go down incremental, but it's pretty standard fare nowadays. Now looking at the center console, you do have space here for loose change if you like, but you also have this here, which is a cover. When you slide that back, it reveals the two cup holders. This piece you can lift up. In the center console, as you can see, there's also room here for change that you can put in these little notches there, but she has so much it's overflowing everywhere. Now there's also these two USB ports as well as an auxiliary port, so you can have two phones connected as well as another device with the auxiliary port. And in the options in the Uconnect system, which I'll show in a moment, you'll be able to see both devices connected and switch between them. Now this car does come with cloth interior, but leather is an option. My girlfriend just chose not to go with leather because she doesn't like the maintenance of it and also how hot it gets during the summertime. So as you can see, I did upgrade the interior lights to LEDs, and you guys can check that video out if you like. Now as you can see, the interior is pretty roomy here, even with the front passenger seat pushed pretty far back. I can get in without any issue and still have decent leg room here. The seats are 60-40 split, so if you need extra room to carry something in the trunk, you can do so. Her car does not have a sunroof, but that is an option that you can get on Dodge Chargers. Now on the rear seat, you also have this flip down panel here, so you can store drinks there, as well as an adjustable center headrest. In the rear console here, you have vents for the rear passengers as well as two USB ports, which is really nice. It's also outlined in this chrome bezel here, which I think adds a nice touch. And the rear side doors here even have cup holders in them, as well as power windows. The leather armrest on the passenger doors I think is also a nice touch. Now with this being a full-size sedan, you can expect plenty of trunk room, as you can see. And as I mentioned, for larger objects, folding those two seats down will allow you to carry longer objects. Now the only issue I have with the trunk is really that the only lights they have back here are on the rear sides. So you have 1, 2, which I did upgrade these to LEDs to make it a little bit brighter. But I think with the trunk being this large, it would have benefited from having a light probably dead center up here to shine down and illuminate the area a little bit better at night. Now, per the usual, it does have the emergency hatch release right there, which glows in the dark in case somebody happens to get stuck in your trunk for whatever reason. But overall, I don't think you're going to be hearing many people complain about the trunk space in these Chargers. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the Uconnect system. So go ahead and power the car on here. Now, the Uconnect infotainment system has quite a few different features. As you can see right now, it's actually on Sirius XM, and the car does have navigation, so you can click that, and if you want to view where you're at on the map, you can do so. As with any navigation system, you can use where to set a destination. You can set your home address, your work address for easy access. So if you hit the traffic icon right here, you can look at traffic events. And it's showing traffic events in the local area. So 4.6 miles away, 5.8 miles, long-term road construction, things like that. So if you need to make adjustments to your route, that's good information to have there. Traffic overview is basically, again, it's based on your current location, but it's going to show you any major delays in the area. So if you want to zoom out, you can do so. And zooming in is just going to give you a closer view of where you're at and anything that may be affecting traffic in your local area. So if it's backed up, it's going to show you different colors basically. So green means it's all good to go, no major delays. If you see anything yellow or red, then it means there could be some holdups. You can also drag around the map with your finger. You can pinch to zoom. So all in all, it's a really good navigation system. I like it a lot. Alright, so now if we hit the controls icon here, you're going to have the heated seat options for the driver and passenger. So you can turn it on to high, low, or off, and that is for, like I said, the driver and passenger sides. Alright, so the mirror dimmer function here is going to allow you to basically turn on or off the functionality of the rear view mirror dimming. So red means that it's on. If you hit this, that's turning it off. The radio button is just going to allow you to switch between Sirius XM if you have that, or if you have the AM FM bands up there, you can select those. One thing, when you're in Sirius XM, if a song that you like comes on, then you can hit the favorite button, and basically what that's going to do is anytime that you're in Sirius XM and that song comes on, even if you're not tuned to the station, it's going to alert you so that you can switch to the station to hear that song. There's also the ability to reverse a song, rewind it, play it over if you like, similar to a DVR functionality. Now you can hit the audio button here to go ahead and change the balance fade. So if you want, you can adjust it so that the sound directs more to the driver's seat or the passenger seats, basically just by dragging it around. So as you can see, if you want the sound to play more over this direction, you can do so. You can tap center to recenter it. Has an equalizer here so that you can adjust the bass, the mids, and treble. The sound system is actually really nice in here. She doesn't have the option with the Beats audio, but even without it, you know, it sounds pretty amazing. Speed adjusted volume is turned off, but basically, as it states there, it increases the volume level relative to an increase in vehicle speed. So when you're driving, say on the interstate or highway, and you start picking up speed and your windows are down, it's going to automatically turn the music up for you, and as you slow down, it's going to decrease the sound. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the media button, and currently there's no device connected, but she just plugged her iPhone in. So as you can see, Apple CarPlay starts up. Now this vehicle does have Apple CarPlay capabilities as well as Android Auto. Okay, so I have my Samsung Galaxy and iPhone hooked up simultaneously using the ports in the center console. And as you can see, Android Auto is active right now. But if I want to switch, I can go ahead and switch to the iPhone right there. And if I had two other devices hooked up with the auxiliary or Bluetooth options, I'd be able to select between all four of those. Alright, so the next thing we'll look at is the climate controls, and you can adjust some of these through here. It does have driver side and passenger side controls so that you can adjust it differently. As you can see in this case, the driver side temperature is set to 62, while the passenger side is set to 74. And if you want the passenger and the driver side to have the same temperature, you can hit the sync button there. And as you can see, it's going to sync to whatever the driver side is set to. Alright, so the apps icon here is basically going to take you to what amounts to the home screen. So when you click this, what it's going to allow you to do is press and hold icons to drag to the menu bar below. So this is where you're going to go. Like, say if we wanted to have travel links show up down here, we could simply press and hold and then drag down to have it show up. So now, as you can see, travel link shows up on the main menu, but because that's not something that we frequently use, we're going to go ahead and drag media back down here and replace it. So it's nice to have the ability to kind of rearrange these things to suit your needs, because a lot of times, you know, you're stuck with a system with a control that's down there that you don't even really use. Alright, so now we're going to take a quick look at the manual controls here. You have your basic things like power on, so if you power this off, you're turning the screen off. You can power it back on here. You can adjust the volume here and then click mute. So it's nice to have that mute ability so that if you're in a situation when you're driving, you don't have to worry about trying to turn the dial real quick to turn it down. You can simply hit mute, and then when you're ready for the music to start again, just hit that. You can also turn the screen off if you want to for some reason. And to reactivate it, you would simply just touch it, or you can hit screen off and then hit it again to bring the screen back on. So you have a couple of options there. Traction control is normal. You also have your HVAC controls down here, heating and AC. Now this car is an automatic, but as you can see, it does have the ability for you to manually control shifting if you so choose. Now you can do that either with this shifter, or you can use the paddle shifters here that are on the actual steering wheel. So you can take control of shifting whenever you want, basically. All right, one thing I've always liked about Dodge vehicles are the steering wheel controls they have on the back here. So on the right side, you have your volume up, which is right there. And if you press down, then the volume goes down. And there's also the button right there in the middle, which if you press that, it's going to switch between the different sources. But this button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel is going to be used for changing station. So if you're in Sirius like I am, you can go up and down throughout your channels manually, or you can press the center button and switch between your saved channels there. So that makes it real easy for you to control the audio without having to remove your hands from the steering wheel, which is one thing I really appreciate about Dodges. All right, so now looking at the instrument gauge cluster, you will notice that it has analog readings for the tachometer as well as the speedometer, but in the middle sits a digital screen, and basically we're going to hit OK to go ahead and enter. So what you'll notice is options here for the screen setup. So we'll start out with center. If you hit center, it's going to show you what you want to display in the middle of the screen, up top basically. So currently it's set to menu title. You can change that to digital speed if you want, and you can see how it just switched over there. You can have it set to none, or you can have it showing audio that's currently playing. If you're going on a trip, you have different trip options. Current miles per gallon, average miles per gallon, as you can see, 17.1 is what she's currently averaging. You can show the range in miles until empty, the time, outside temperature, compass, none. And basically, when you exit out of there, it's going to give you the same ability to cycle through all of those things in the upper left-hand corner there, the upper right. All right, so going back to the steering wheel controls, you also have the ability to make calls using the phone button here. You can start a call, end it. You have the VR button here, which allows you to use voice controls. Over there is going to be your cruise control settings. And that's pretty much it for the steering wheel and the interior features. Now, one feature that comes in handy is you can set a speed warning so that if you start exceeding the set speed limit in the given area that you're at, you'll actually get a warning. So let's go ahead and give it a little try and see what it sounds like. Right now, it's set to trigger at 10 miles over the speed limit.
The speed limit is 45 miles per hour.
Now, you do have controls here for the interior, so if you want to make the dash brighter, you can simply rotate this knob right here, which may be a little bit hard to see in the dark, but you will be able to at least see the effect that it has. Now, one thing I really enjoy about this car is the interior, the ride quality. Even when you're under a hard acceleration, you don't get a lot of road noise. You can definitely hear that Hemi roaring under there, but it's a smooth riding car with a lot of power, so it's great for road trips. So the Charger, for all intents and purposes, is an excellent car in terms of handling. It's very comfortable driving it. You can accelerate when you need extra power. If you just want to cruise, you can set the cruise control and do that. But overall, it's really spacious. You know, we went on a trip in it, and you know, it's a car that you can fall asleep in. The 5.7 liter Hemi gives you the power so it's there when you need it. But you can also just kind of lay back and cruise. I love the sound of the Hemi from the factory, even without having a cold air intake or anything like that on it. It just sounds good. You get that little roar and rumble sound when you accelerate on it. The active exhaust also plays a part in it, but just the way the car sounds, you can feel that it's a powerful engine in there pushing it down the road. I had a few people ask me how long a full tank will last you in terms of mileage, and I just filled it up and it was showing about 300, little over 300 miles is the range. But I enjoy it. For the few months that she's had it, I've only driven it a few times actually, but today was one of the days where I was actually able to have it for the majority of the day. Had it on the interstate, had it on some back roads, able to really kind of put it through its paces now that it's broken in and everything. If I had to choose between the Charger and the Challenger, I'd go with the Charger, mainly because I like the styling of it better. I like the extra room that it affords you, the trunk space, and with the appropriate engine selection, you'll have plenty of power, so you don't have to worry about that. And like I said, the comfort in terms of ride quality is great. So most importantly, she's happy with the car. As long as she's happy, I'm happy. You know how that goes. But I think she made a good choice in going with the Charger. So I say if you're in the market, go ahead and check it out.
All right, y'all, so that's it for this video. Let me know what y'all think about my original Dodge Charger. Did you like it? Did you not like it? It was a whole lot different than this one, but still very similar in so many ways. I do kind of a little bit miss that one a little bit. That was my baby. That was the first one. But I definitely think I got the upgrade with this one. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. You're definitely missing out. Also, head over to 300 Reasons so you can take a look at some of the content that Ali got for his 300S. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. We'll see y'all on the next video.